Hey friends, this is Miss Belton. So I am at a coffee shop here in Belton, and I'm here with visiting my other son and his wife, Jeffrey and Tristan. And so I thought that I would try to find a place in here where I could sit down and read, because I didn't get to read today. So, doesn't it look like a neat place to read? Check that out. Kind of a fancy couch. I've never read on such a fancy couch. So, I am going to sit right here in this sunny window and read our chapters for today. So today's chapters are, I think we're going to start on chapter 7. And it's called Bye Pele. And remember, in order to say goodbye, I think you have to say hello. So hopefully that means that they are going to get to meet up with Pele. All right, so here we go. I'm so glad, shouted Annie. Come and squeeze in here with us to watch. Everyone has gone crazy. Jack climbed up on the bench and stood between Annie and Roberto as they watched the happy celebration on the field. The president of Mexico presented a giant trophy to Brazil and Carlos Alberto. The captain of the team lifted it high above his head. Yay, Brazil, shouted Roberto. Yay, Pele. Did the ring of truth ever glow? Jack asked Annie. When you were watching Pele up close, did you learn a secret of greatness from him? Nope, not yet, Annie said. Yay, Pele. Not yet, said Jack. Then when? Don't worry, said Annie. We still have time. She pulled the ring off her finger. Here, you can wear it again. Jack slipped the ring back onto his finger, but what's the use, he thought. We've lost our big chance. How can we ever get close to Pele now? Followed by hundreds of photographers and TV cameras, the beautiful team was marching around the field. Confetti and streamers floated down from the stands. Firecrackers were whistling and popping over the stadium. Flag bearers waved huge green, yellow, and blue Brazilian flags. A band was playing. Annie and Roberto clapped in rhythm to the music, trying to hide both his worry and his disappointment. Jack clapped with them. They're leaving now, said Roberto. Police were leading Pele and all the other Brazilian players off the crazy crowded field. TV cameras, reporters, and a mob of fans followed the World Cup champions. We should follow the team too, Annie said to Jack. Want to? We have to, Jack said sharply. We still have a mission to accomplish, remember? Come with us, Roberto, said Annie. Let's all follow the team pronto. They climbed down from the bench and started running across the huge green soccer field. The parade of fans and players was leaving by the furthest exit. We'll catch up to them outside the stadium, said Roberto, running alongside Jack and Annie. If I could even get 20 feet from Pele, I would be happy forever. Me too, said Annie. Jack and I have a question for him. No kidding, thought Jack. Jack and Annie and Roberto hurried through the exit, leaving Aztec Stadium and heading into the parking lot. Over there. They're getting on the bus, said Roberto. Not far away, fans and media were swarming around a bus. Photographers were snapping pictures one after another, flashbulbs blazing. TV reporters were shouting questions at the team. Supporters were cheering and waving flags. Hurry, cried Jack. They all ran faster, but before they could get to the bus, it pulled away from the crowd. Police pushed fans out of its path so it could leave. Goodbye, said Annie. Goodbye, Pele, Roberto yelled. Jack, Annie, and Roberto watched the bus move out of the giant parking lot of Aztec Stadium. Well, there goes our chance to accomplish our mission, Jack thought dismally. There will be no reason to journey to Camelot now. It'll be the first time we've ever failed. Don't worry, Annie said to him, as if she'd read his mind. I'll bet the team's headed to the city. Let's go back there and look for them. Sorry, I'm trying to turn the page with one hand. All right, here we go. Okay, I guess that might work, said Jack, trying not to give up hope. I heard on the radio they were all going to a banquet in Mexico City tonight. Cool, said Annie. Someone's bound to know where that banquet is. Then maybe we can use our magic mist to get into the party. What? Like make a wish to be the greatest party crashers in the world? Said Jack. Annie laughed. Whatever it takes, she said. She turned to Roberto and asked, Roberto, can you help us get back into the city? Of course, I owe you everything, he said. Not really, said Jack. Everyone deserves a good birthday. Thank you, Jack, said Roberto with a big grin. Come with me. Jack and Annie followed Roberto away from the giant concrete building, through the crowded parking lot and toward the tram line. Whoa, said Annie. Thousands of people were waiting to board the trams. We will have to wait many hours to get to one, said Roberto. Is there another station nearby? Jack asked. Yes, but it will be just as crowded, Roberto answered. What do you think we should do? Annie asked. I have an idea, said Roberto. My great aunt lives in a neighborhood north of here. Near her house, there is a bus stop. Want to give it a try? Sure, said Jack. We don't have another choice. He and Annie followed Roberto away from the tram station. Clouds had moved back in. A soft rain fell as they walked along a road crowded with cars leaving the stadium. Horns were blaring and drivers were shouting at each other. This way, said Roberto, and he led Jack and Annie away from the busy road into a rundown neighborhood. They passed St. Anthony's Church, a junk store, a laundromat, and a beauty shop. Then Roberto led them down a dirt path between rows of stucco houses. In the light rain, families sat on front porches. Several were listening to portable radios. The announcer was repeating the news about the World Cup final. At the end of the street was a vacant lot filled with kids, and Jack and Annie and Roberto drew closer. They saw about 20 boys and girls of all ages running around barefoot and covered with mud. I'm going to show you a picture real quick. Flip you around here. Let you see. There they are. Okay. The kids were playing soccer. The goal lines had been marked off with tattered nets. A grown-up on the sideline was acting as referee. He blew a whistle and yelled, "Halftime!" All the kids stopped running. Several players walked away from the field as the others gathered in small groups to talk. "Hey, Roberto," an older boy waved. "Hey, Miguel," Roberto waved back. "What are you doing here?" shouted Miguel. I'm taking my friends back to the city," Roberto answered. "We're going to catch the bus." "Hey, Roberto," another kid yelled. "Hey, Diego, did you hear Brazil just won?" called Diego. "Yay!" Roberto pumped the air with his fist. "Pele the Great." Then he turned to Jack and Annie. "I played ball with these kids once when I was visiting my aunt. If they come over, please do not tell them we just saw the World Cup final. It would make them sad that they could not afford to go." "Okay, we won't," said Annie. Jack nodded. Again, he was impressed by Roberto's kindness. The boys seemed to care about everyone's feelings. "Roberto, can your friends play soccer?" Miguel yelled. "Our team just lost some players for the second half." Before Roberto could answer, another boy jumped in. "No, Miguel, not Roberto. Remember that time he played? He was the worst player ever." "Yeah, Miguel, remember." "Oh, yeah, Miguel, remember?" yelled a tall girl. "He made us lose big time." "I didn't ask Roberto to play, Carla," Miguel said. "I asked if his two friends could play." "We lost our 3 forwards, but we can play with 2. Jack glanced at Roberto. The boy's smile was gone, and he stared at the ground. "No way," Annie said to Jack, gritting her teeth. "Not in a million years." "Right, not even if we didn't have a mission and we were the best players in the world," said Jack. "Come on, Roberto. Let's get out of here." Wait a minute," said Annie. Then she turned back to the kids and yelled, "Yes, Miguel, we can play." "Are you crazy?" Jack asked her. "We'll play on your team," Annie yelled again to Miguel, "but only if you let Roberto play too. All 3 of us want to be forwards." Roberto shook his head. "No, not me. They don't want me." "I'm not that great either," said Jack. "Annie, what's wrong with you?" "What's wrong with me? Nothing." Annie reached into Jack's backpack and took out the small bottle of Merlin's magic mist. I see where she's going. In fact, everything's about to be great for all three of us. Ooh, that's so fun. Wouldn't that be fun if you had magic mist and you could use it in your real world? That would be so cool. All right, well, that's all I'm going to have time for reading now, because right now it's pretty quiet here, but it seems like it might be getting a little bit more filled up with people. So we will read a new chapter tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying this book, and how cool that the World Cup is actually going on right now. I'm not a huge soccer fan, so I didn't realize that until I saw the story about all the Thailand soccer team that got stuck in the cave. And so how cool that we're reading a book about the World Cup when that's actually going on right now. All right, well, I hope you are doing great. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.